Hello, Steve White, Trek Boy 89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, it's fairly unanimous. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 3, Episode 7? 4.5 Vulcans is pretty much the worst episode of Star Trek ever made. Everyone hates it. Even Jessie Gender hated it. She went on a 50-minute rant, sounding like a chud. And she was so conscious of it. It's like, I don't want to hate this. I don't want to sound like that, but I hated it. She couldn't get around the stupidity and the racism of the episode, and just how much it failed to do whatever it was trying to do, whether it was trying to be a comedy or trying to be Lower Decks. I don't know what it was trying to do, but it was really, really amusing watching her do her review and just going through how horrible it was. And it's funny because she knows some of the writers, and she kept having to say, I know some of the writers, I just feel like I can't say this and I can't do this, and I don't think I can continue to review this show because I want to work with these people. And I'm like, wow. But yeah, and that didn't go unnoticed. Even Robert Meyer Burnett was commenting on the fact that even Jessie Gender hated the episode. It's biological essentialism, which we sort of could see from the premise from the scenes we saw early on, the preview ones, were going to be an issue. Some people are proudly saying that Star Trek is turning progressive and turning conservative, and no longer progressive, and that it's actually an anti-trans message, which I think on some levels what Jessie Gender was trying to say, but she couldn't quite say that because she doesn't want to offend the people she wants to work with, that she's met and gotten friendly with, because she wants to work with them. She wants to write on Star Trek, or maybe direct on Star Trek. But so that was amusing to watch. Now the general criticisms are, the basic stupid things like the fact that the Vulcans' hair change, things like that when they get the shot, and it is ridiculous, and it's also very disappointing because they could have had a really funny scene, or a couple of funny scenes, where the Vulcans react to their fashion and their hairstyle, and Pike could be like, what is this structure on my head? Like, who is vain enough to go to all the time to make something like this and make their appearance like this, and then the next scene he shows up with the traditional Vulcan hairdos, flats down and everything, and then looking like Spock the whole time. Like they could have made some jokes out of it instead of just, people won't notice, people are stupid, doesn't matter, it's just a comedy, we can just leave that, doesn't matter. No, it doesn't work. And then, God, when you get into the actual idea that these people's racism and prejudice and attitudes are all biological, and who they are is defined by their biology. So you turn someone into a Vulcan, they automatically become racist, which is like saying racist is genetic. There's just so many problems with this episode, and their excuse will be, it's a comedy, you're not supposed to think about it, but I'm sorry, it exists, and if you're a thinking person, you're going to think about it. It's pretty messy, everyone hates it, and there are a couple of, I did see a couple of shills saying it was great. I did see the guy from Trek Yard saying he laughed at it and thought it was funny. I don't know if he actually said it was great or if he didn't have any issues with it, but I didn't watch his video past him saying that he thought it was really funny. And he even commented on Jessie Gender, who it's just, everyone is like shocked that she, couldn't stand the episode. And he said, well, she doesn't like it, she doesn't need to watch it. And I'm like, that's a really bad attitude. It's like, a fan should be able to watch a show without being insulted or offended, and the idea of saying, well, just don't watch it then, well, where does that leave the franchise? Like, everyone just goes away because it becomes offensive. You would be able to expect that the creators would hear the voice of the people and the critics and actually do something about it. But so a lot of issues. I think they tried to explain this through the fact that it was Spock's like DNA, and like they somehow put in his issues and it was his perception of Vulcans, and his perception of Vulcans and how they think of him were sort of being transposed onto these characters, and just some ridiculous things. And like they did that in a voiceover, which was clearly tacked on afterwards, and I don't think it's it's just a mess, and just nothing about it really works. Like, why do they continue to wear those costumes? How do they let these people who are clearly affected continue to work like normal? And just there's so many issues and things that happened that didn't make any sense and didn't work. And like I said, it's fairly unanimous. Everyone who's seen this that I know who isn't a total shill has said that they hated it, and it's like the worst Star Trek episode they've ever seen. And yeah, it's a new low. I didn't think they could go lower than Section 31 in the musical, but they did. They found a new way, and it does worry me about how much lower they can go in the next, 1.5 seasons, 2 episodes and then 6 episodes. And it's kind of shocking and kind of funny. And the idea that one thing that finally unites the whole community is that everyone hates this episode so much. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think.